Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Respawn Granted. As always, my co-host, Real Batman. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing excellent. How about you?
Doing really good, doing really good. Um, as you guys know, this is Collector's Thoughts, where we kind of talk about all things games, movies, action figure statues. Today we wanted to talk about something that we recently talked about, but more and more things keep popping up, and we decided we had to revisit this topic. And that is, of course, the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series One, the scalping issue. Like it was bad, and now it's gotten to a whole new level of bad. So we decided we had to revisit this topic. So first of all, why don't you start us off with something that you recently found out that I found very interesting?
Well, after watching it through another YouTuber who's a pretty big YouTuber, and he brought this up, and I was taken back by it quite a bit. These people have stooped to a whole other level. I mean, it's bad enough, the whole scalping thing. We all know about that. But pretending to be a certain YouTuber to scam people out of money, thinking that they're going to get a PS5 when they're really not getting anything. And then, and the problem is so that the good thing is a lot of people gave them the benefit of the doubt. They know that YouTuber really well, or YouTubers, and they knew that they weren't capable of doing that. But some of them were on the fence and were like, well, wait a minute, why is this guy doing this? This is not usually, like, I get it. The whole COVID thing, is he hurting? Is that why he's doing it? So now they've stooped to a whole other level, whether it's scalpers or scammers or both. Pretending to be certain popular YouTubers who say they have PS5s or Xbox Series X, whatever you want to call it, taking money from people, and the people never get the counsel. Never get the counsel. So that just led me to talking to you about it and doing a follow-up video on this, because what the hell is wrong with people? You're in the middle of a pandemic. We talked about this in the first one a few weeks ago. People are looking for some sense of normalcy so they don't lose their mind during these lockdowns in this high anxiety time of trying not to get sick and trying not to get your loved one sick. And you got pieces of crap doing things like this, like scalping something at 3-4 times the MSRP isn't bad enough. Rating, the inventory of the product isn't bad enough. Now you're going to pretend to be somebody that you're not, potentially destroy that person's YouTube channel. Because some of these people, we're not talking about like me and you who are in the hundreds or whatever. We're talking about people that are hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and they're using those people's credibility and their channel to pretend to be somebody that they're not, to scam people out of money. Now, it's wrong on so many levels, on every level. It's wrong on every level. Let me rephrase that. It's wrong on every level. But, you could potentially start problems for these people who have these channels and get them in trouble with the law for something they didn't even do.
You know what's crazy about that is this actually isn't the first time I heard this, because my wife is actually really big into watching YouTubers that go and to different countries and try different foods and stuff like that. And there was actually a video where one of those guys, he has, dude, I don't even know, probably 1 million subscribers. He actually put out a video saying that there was another company or group of people using his name to help push product, and he has nothing to do with those people. He never even heard of it. Someone had mentioned it to him that they would. So this isn't the first time that this has happened, where other groups or whatever are just not even asking. They're just using a YouTuber, a well-established YouTuber's name to push product, or just to straight out steal. And it's not right. It's not right at all.
Even people out to what you're saying have said that they're a certain YouTuber to try to get samples of whatever product that YouTuber usually gets. So they pretend to be somebody that they're not. They get the product for free, and then they do whatever they want with it. And certain companies have reached out to that YouTuber and say, wait a minute. And it's a good thing they've done that, because those people have gotten caught saying, hey, wait a minute, this is not like you to be requesting stuff like this. We usually, we have an understanding here. Since when do you reach out to us and ask? I mean, if you really want the product, we'll send it to you because it's free advertisement. And come to find out, the guy's like, I didn't request that. Like, what are you talking about? That's not me. So it's yes, your wife is right, and she watches that, and she's absolutely right. It happens. It's not the first time it's happened. But here's the difference, though. You're in the middle, and I don't like to focus on the negative. We try not to. But you're in the middle of a freaking pandemic. There's a lot of people who lost their jobs. Some of them are on the fringe of losing their jobs right now with more lockdowns now. And you're doing crap like this. Look, people are trying to find any way they can to survive and make money. I get it. But that's not what this is. This is just flat out highway robbery and greed. That's not what this is.
Yep. And the thing is, it doesn't stop here. It doesn't stop here. There is also stories of people selling photos of the PlayStation 5 on eBay. Not the product, just a photo. Or another one I recently saw is people putting the empty boxes on there. Did you see that too? Empty boxes on eBay, and people are bidding on them. Now, here's the thing. Some people might say, well, it's the people's fault because they're not reading everything. And you're right, because some of the stuff I've seen, it does say that it's not the product. But they're not stupid, too. The way they worded it is one of those things that you might sit there and read it quick and be like, oh, it's the PlayStation 5. Like, for example, there was one I saw right before we started filming this. A PlayStation 5 box and the PlayStation 5 controller box right now has 42 people bidding on it for over $700
for a
box. You're telling me those 42 people know they're going to spend $700 on a box? They don't know that, because the way it's said, the way they worded it, yes, it is just the box, but it doesn't say just the box. It says original packaging only. So a lot of people are probably like, oh, they mean it's just the, nothing fancy. It's just the regular system. So stuff like that is sneaky, yes. So stuff like that, dude, that is wrong. Now the thing is, it's in that situation, like the situation you brought up, you clearly blame the people that are stealing. That's not right that you're stealing. Now with this situation where people are selling the pictures or they're selling the box, you blame them, but not fully, because they are telling you that it's the box or the picture, and you're not paying attention. People are just bidding and just, I don't even know, man. Like,
where these social media outlets are so quick to censor something when they don't like it. And I'm not talking about political. We don't get into politics on this channel or on my channel or yours.
Right.
But they are quick to censor things. Where the hell is eBay on this? Now, I do know that eBay has since put out a statement saying that they're going to crack down on these people. They're going to take them off. But here's the thing. Okay, it's been going on for a little bit. It didn't. I don't think it just started. First of all,
so. Yeah.
Second of all, if you're eBay and you're so passionate about what's right and what's wrong, Facebook, whatever, because there's also Facebook Market that people sell these things on. Yep. Facebook, especially the guy who runs it, is it Zucker or whatever the hell his name is?
I don't even know, but yeah,
something like that. Yeah. You're a piece. If you're watching this, and I hope you are, you're a piece of shit. You're a special kind of piece of crap. Okay, to do some of the shit that you do. And here's the thing: you are so politically correct, apparently, or whatever it is that you want to call yourself, and about what's right and what's wrong, and censorship and censoring this and censoring that. Why are you allowing people to commit highway robbery on your platforms? I mean, we talk about the scalpers. And we should. But what about these platforms that they're allowed to sell this stuff on? Shouldn't they get some heat? Because let's look at this. They censor people all the time for much less, for just giving it an opinion, putting a post about something that they're giving an opinion on. And I'm not even just talking about political views. I'm talking about anything. Because I've had stuff taken down that I've posted that has nothing to do with politics. Okay? So they're very quick to do that. but you're not quick to sit here and say, this is, if it's not illegal, it should be. It's highway robbery. They're raiding and they're creating the supply versus demand shortage because they're buying it all up, and they're saying they're not using bots, but that's bullshit because there's no way you can get that many. I saw a picture right before we started shooting of these two guys who have like 50 of them. 50 of them. It was 40 or 50 of them. It was 40 or 50 of them. And I'm sitting there going, how do these two clowns who have sneakers behind them, it looks like a Foot Locker, how do these two clowns have that many PS5s? So they're clearly using bots. There's no other way they can do it. So they're creating this fake shortage because of what they're doing. They're pretty much selling them. They're using people's impatience, and they know a lot of people right now are looking for something to do while they're in lockdown and there's so many restrictions. They know that people are impatient when it comes to technology and collecting sometimes. So, and they're using that against the people. And this is illegal. Look, there is no way that you could tell me that this is right. It's highway robbery. It's stealing. It's taking advantage of people. And as much as I do blame the scalpers, I'm going to go out on a limb here today, and I'm going to say eBay, F you. Facebook Market, F you. Because you're sitting here telling me that you want everything on the DL, on your platform. You don't want any bullshit. You don't want any of that. And yet you're allowing this to happen. You're allowing people to sell things for 3-4 times the market value.
Right.
Look in the mirror.
It's now, first of all, this right here is definitely worse than scalping, because with scalping, they buy the product, they turn around and they sell it for whatever. What these people are doing is, like you said, it's stealing from people. Mainly, like I said, that first topic that you brought up, where people were pretending to be YouTubers, and you're straight up stealing money. That's what you're doing. Pretend to be a YouTuber and telling people, oh, you're gonna get this if you give me money, and they're not. So you're stealing from them. The second people on eBay purposely saying things in a way where it covers their own ass, but they're being sneaky about it. So it's like, that's not right either. Yes, it's the people's fault for not paying attention, but in the same sense, it's like you could have also just straight out said, this is the box only. Why not just straight out say that then if you're not trying to be sneaky about it? So it's one of those things. One thing I heard was that eBay, I mean, I don't know. I mean, take for whatever you want, but from what I heard, eBay is going to stop people from selling photos of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox. So it's like, okay, that's great, but what, I mean, that's I mean, all right.
It's laughable.
Right. It's like,
okay, so you fix that problem. What about the other one?
Right.
If you take away the platforms for these clowns to make these ridiculous amounts of profit, they're going to stop doing it. And here's the other thing. So you're an enabler if you're eBay and your Facebook Marketplace. You're an enabler. You know they're doing this. You know it's highway robbery, but you don't give a rat's ass. Problem number one. Problem number two is it's fraud. You're pretending to be, you're selling something and you're wording it in a way that if the person's just quickly reading it and they're desperate and they're trying to get their hands on the console, they're not going to catch it. So yes, they're very sneaky about it, like you said, but it's fraud. It's fraud. You're getting paid, and so in some cases they're not even getting the goddamn box. So I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is.
Yeah, and the thing is, okay, so we just touched on two of the situations. There's more. There's actually even more. Another few stories that I've heard is that people are, like, for example, going to, which this happens with other console releases too, because I remember the PS3 having a very similar problem. But people buy the systems, bring them home, take the systems out of the box, put something else in the box, and then return it to the stores. And if the stores don't open and check it, they just got that system for free. Like, did you hear about the guy back when the PS3 launched from Walmart, bought a box for the PS3 and it was filled with bricks.
I mean, it's not new. We know that.
Yeah.
We know that. But here's the thing, and I'm going to keep going back on this episode on it. We attack the scalpers because they deserve it. They deserve all the bad karma they got coming. They deserve it. And the times that we're in and what you're doing with the council and other products, like I've said before, mugs, anything that they know is going to be a hot item, figures. We go through it all the time. We're fighting scalpers tooth and nail as collectors, whether it's figures and statues. And now councils. But these platforms, eBay, okay, you're going to take down the ones that are selling pictures. Great. How about you put a cap somewhere saying if you're going to sell something on my platform, it cannot be more. It can't be 2-3 times MSRP. It has to be reasonable. So if it's a $500 item, you have to cap it. You can only sell it for $600 or $650 the most.
Unless it bids.
Yes.
If it bids, that's different.
Bids are different. I'm not talking about bids. Facebook Marketplace, I don't believe it is bids. I've never been on there.
I don't think you can, yeah.
I don't think so. But because it's selling for 2-3 times the MSRP on Facebook Marketplace as well, and others. You cap it. If it's not a bid, you cap it. Say you cannot sell it for more than $100 or $150 MSRP. You're still going to make money. Listen, here's the other thing. People say, well, they're going to defend the scalpers to a certain extent. Say, well, people are just trying to find ways to make money. Really? You buy 20 or 40 PlayStation 5s, and you spend a whole lot of money to get those 40 PlayStation 5s. If you have that kind of money to buy 40 or 20 PlayStation 5s at $500 plus tax MSRP, then maybe you should take that money and reapply it and feed your family and stop being a scumbag. That's not a valid argument for me. Some people can make it. For me, no. Take that money, pay your bills, feed your family, because if you can buy 20 or 40 PlayStation 5s, you're not struggling. You're just trying to highway robbery. That's what you're trying to do. It's what you're doing.
Right. Now, that's 3 different topics, situations we talked about. There's more. The next one that I heard is that there's this big group. I can't remember exactly what they're called, but
UK?
In the UK, yes, and they're actually claiming to be almost like the Robin Hoods of scalping. They're saying that they have some outrageous number of PlayStation 5s in stock that they claim that all of their members got fairly without bots, which I'm calling bullshit on that right off the bat. There's no way in hell, but whatever. They're claiming that they got it all fairly and that they're easily finding these PlayStation 5s. No struggles for these people. They're easily getting their hands on them. And what they're doing is they're making sure by getting these PlayStation 5s that they are going to have PlayStation 5s for any parents that want to buy these for their kids for Christmas. Of course, at triple the price. But they are making sure that you and your family can get one just as long as you're willing to pay double or triple the price. So they're Robin Hood. These are the good guys.
I've seen that. They have a very sophisticated website also. I mean, $40 for a month to be a member?
Yeah.
If you want to be a member for the year, it's $525 or $530. So they're making money, and you can argue they're probably making more money on the membership because the people are lining up for these clowns. So they're doing all the people in the UK a huge service. Don't worry, your son or daughter is going to get a PS5 for $2,000.
Right.
Don't worry, we're here to save the day.
Right.
Well, here's an idea. You claim that you got the first initial launch, you got 3,500. This is that group that you're talking about. They claimed that they got 3,500, and then recently they claimed that they got another 2,000.
Yes.
Another 2,000 without using bots. Why don't you try to feed us that bullshit. So you got almost 6,000 PS5s when nobody else can find them. It's hard to find them without using bots. You got almost 6,000 PS5s without using bots.
They got them fairly.
Right. I mean,
Absolutely.
seriously. Yeah, you're full of shit. And your membership, $525 for the year. Here's an idea. You should give people $525 for the year for the stupid shit that you're doing. I mean, really? Next one.
It's crazy, dude, because it's like, here's an idea. Just leave it on the shelf so that way we can get it at regular sales price. How about that?
They don't want to do that.
Yeah.
They would have to actually work for a living.
Right. Yeah.
Is what it is.
It's absolutely insane. Like I said, we had recently done a video about the scalping issue with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox. Mainly the PlayStation 5. The Xbox, yes, but the PlayStation 5 seems to be the one that's really having trouble right now. Now, here's the thing. We did that video about a couple of weeks ago or so, and I mean, I'm sure you felt the same way I did. We thought it was done. It was a one-time topic video, and we'd move on, and that's it. But then I kept hearing more of these ridiculous stories coming out. And I'm sitting there saying, no, we're not going to make another video. There's no way. Then I hear another story, and then another story. And then we ended up talking before earlier on, and we were like, we have to make another video on this because it is just absolutely insane what is going on. And then this group in the UK actually trying to justify this. You know what? This is brilliant, dude. All the scalpers should just use that logic and be like, hey, we're doing this for you. We want to make sure you actually get what you're looking for. Yeah, you're going to pay double or triple the price, but we wanted to get it for you.
They're the ones that are creating the artificial shortage because they're buying everything up with the bots. Yeah. So this supply and demand. The company's not making enough. No, the company's making enough. You're using the bots to get them all. So, yeah, I guess they can try to make themselves out to be heroes. And you know what? That group in the UK is not the only ones that's actually defending scalpers. There are people out there trying to sympathize with them.
Yep.
And me, if you're being sympathetic towards this massive problem, which is illegal, it's fraud, it's robbery, it's taking advantage of people, it's everything that I can think of that's wrong with the world today is these people right here. If you're defending them, then you're probably a scalper yourself. And if you're a scalper and you're doing this to people, and parents like us have to look at their kids, because we know, look, we've talked about this. And here's the other hilarious part before I get to my original point. Look at all the problems these councils are having right now.
Yep.
Just wait until the spring or the summer. Let them work out the problems and get a council that's going to be relatively reliable. And so are these people not paying attention to all the bugs and these systems are crashing? Call of Duty, you play the next amount of hours and the system is garbage, it freezes. It's like, what are you doing? Just be patient, people. Stop being enablers. Stop contributing to the problem, because as long as you buy from them, they're going to keep doing it. And what's more, back to my original point, I don't think it's right that as a parent, because kids are not going to understand patience and, there's bugs, and let's get the second or third wave so that way they work out those kinks, work out those bugs. They don't understand that. They want it. And to have to look at your kid in the eye saying that you can't get them that PS5 or the Xbox Series because these pieces of shits are doing these things, because scalping isn't bad enough, right? So now we're going to pretend to be certain YouTubers and get them in trouble. Like, what do you people do? Like, just stop. Just stop what you're doing. It's wrong. It's illegal. It's fraud. It's wrong on every level. This goes beyond a PS5 because I have no interest in this. I don't have my PS4 or my Xbox One hooked up. I haven't had it in years hooked up. I'm not into video games that much anymore at all. I have no intention of getting either one of these consoles. It's about what's right and what's wrong. And this is wrong. Pretending to be somebody that you're not, getting them potentially in trouble. charging 2 to 3, 4 times the MSRP that these items would normally sell for, creating the artificial shortage, because there really is no shortage. And there's more on the way. Let's make this very clear in this video, right? There's more on the way. Be patient. Don't be an enabler. Let them work out all the problems, and there's a ton of problems. You really want to pay $1,500, $2,000 for a system that's probably going to shit the bed if you play Call of Duty for 10 hours or more?
Right. Now, here's the thing. 2 points I want to make. One, there was a game. I believe it was Xenoblade Chronicles that was out on the Wii. So this was back in the Wii's time. That GameStop got a lot of backlash because GameStop was purposely opening up. Because I guess it was limited. It was only for GameStop. The physical release was only for GameStop, and they were purposely opening up every single copy they got and then reselling it at a much higher rate pre-owned. So brand new, the game was $50 or $60. I can't remember, but GameStop didn't have any brand new because they were opening all of them, creating a demand, which meant that the pre-owned version was about $80 to $100. People gave GameStop hell for that because it was not fair that you couldn't get a new one because they were the only company that got the physical release. I'm pretty sure it was Xenoblade Chronicles. They were the only one that got the physical release of that game. But they were purposely opening all of them and claiming it to be pre-owned, which meant they can charge whatever they wanted. People gave them hell for that, okay? This is very similar to that. People are purposely buying up stuff at regular price and then jacking up the price because you can't find it anywhere. Second thing I wanted to say was one thing that gives me a little bit of hope is that there was a YouTuber that I watched that said that a group, I don't want to say a group of scalpers, but some group got in contact with them asking if they could put an ad or like a sponsorship in his video to promote this group to sell scalped PS5s at double or triple the price. He laughed at them and said, "No, I'm not gonna push your scalped PS5s and tell my viewers to go to your website to buy double or triple the price of a PS5 that you all scalped from stores and used bots to get them." So that right there makes me feel better because the fact that for them to do this, they might not be selling as many as we think they are. They might be sitting on a lot of these, a lot more that aren't moving as well as we believe. And the other thing too is that Sony might have made a bunch of them, a lot more than normal. And there's rumors that there's going to be a ton more coming. I believe they said early spring. There's going to be a huge wave of them coming early spring. So now these scalpers might have, let's just use the numbers you threw out. Let's say they have over 5,000 PlayStation 5s. If they don't get rid of those 5,000, making at least double the price by that next wave, they're in trouble. Because now you're going to have another, 50,000 PlayStation 5s out there that average people are going to get their hands on, which means it's going to be even less people buying from scalpers, which means there's a very good chance that these people might be sitting on 5,000 PlayStation 5s or at least 1,500 PlayStation 5s by the time this is all said and done. And that's assuming that they don't also come out with which they're not going to do it anytime soon, but let's say they come out with a revision PlayStation 5, a PlayStation 5 Pro or something. Now that model that they bought is pretty much obsolete.
I've already, they're going to be coming out with a PlayStation 5 Pro. So there's already talks about that. But here's the thing. I hope that you're right. And I heard about that, they wanted to run ads. So it leads me to believe that they might be getting a little desperate.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They wouldn't be doing it if they weren't making money. And from what I see and what we see on eBay and the bidding going back and forth, people are buying from these guys. Please stop. My final thought on this is going to be, because I don't want to spend too much time on it because we did one a couple of weeks ago. I don't know about you. But my final thought on this is going to be this. Stop it being an enabler. If you're buying from them, you're an enabler. If you're a social media platform like eBay and Facebook, you're an enabler. Great. They're not allowed to sell pictures of a box for $700. That's great. I applaud you for doing that. How about you just stop the whole scalping thing? You have the power to put handcuffs on these people, so to speak, by saying, you're going to list stuff on our platform, and unless it's bidding, outside of bidding, you can't go, you got to cap it. So if it's a $500 MSRP price tag, you're not going to go more than $100. Because listen, if you have 10 of these and you sell all 10 of them for $600, do the math. I don't think, personally, I think scalping should be illegal. I think it should stop. I think if you have a collection like me or in yourself, and you find yourself, you fall on hard times and you need to sell some stuff just to get by, I think that's a different story. That's clearly not what this is. Listen, if you go on eBay and you're listing 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 PS5s, that's not something that you've had for a while. It just came out. So these platforms, eBay, Facebook, you have the power to also stop it. Because in theory, you're an enabler yourself by allowing these people to sell these products at these ridiculous prices. And so, yeah, my bottom line, I plead with everybody, stop buying from them. If you're Facebook and eBay, stop allowing them to sell this stuff at these prices. Because if we all come together and do the right thing as much as possible, not only are these people going to be sitting on these products, they'll stop doing it. They'll stop doing it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really have much else to say about it. It's just, I think the scalping is disgusting with any topic, with any situation that they scalp. But I think it's even worse what like some of these people are doing, where you're straight up just stealing and you're lying and manipulating situations just to try to get, one up on somebody. Because whether it's a photo on eBay or it's you pretending to be, Billy Bob from YouTube, and you're not even really selling a product, you're just saying you are to try to get it. That's illegal. That's wrong, man. So yeah, that's all I got to say about it. Hopefully this is the last time we have to talk about this, but who knows, man? There could be more craziness going on. Like I'm telling you right now, if I turn on the news and I see an old lady hit someone with a walker to get a PlayStation 5, I'm probably gonna report it. I wanna talk about that old lady. So, but yeah, that's all I got to say about it, man. What about you?
I think as long as there's scalping in any, whether it's in figure collecting, it's going to be brought up once in a while because we like to talk about everything collecting. We like to be upbeat as much as possible, but it does come to a point where you also have to call certain people out in certain situations and make it. We're just trying to make everybody aware. Patience is a virtue. If you're patient, you'll get a better counsel in the spring. Okay, 4 or 5 months from now, you'll get a counsel with less bugs, will work better, won't crash on you after a certain amount of hours. So if you're a scalper, up yours. That's all I got to say. You're a scumbag. You're a piece of shit. To pretending to, it's borderline stealing people's identity. You're pretending to be a YouTuber that you're not. To sell something that you don't even have in your possession. Selling pictures of something. It's just, the whole thing is disgusting. It's gotten to a whole other level. And the reason why it's gotten to that level is because people are enablers, and I'm not one of them, so I'm not being a hypocrite, and I know you're not. And these...
Well, you know what it is, too, is that I just thought of this, too. With the internet and with all the different things that it's much easier to be a scalper now, because it seems like, at least it seems like, that there's more of them. Whereas before, it didn't seem like it was as difficult to get your hands on certain figures or certain things. Now it seems very difficult to get your hands on just about anything, because it seems like there's more of them out there. And with things like eBay and stuff like that, it's not like they have to buy it and go lug it to a flea market and try to sell it that way, or an auction. They can just easily take a picture, put it online, and try to sell it that way. So it just seems like there's a lot more out there now, at least in my opinion. What about you? What do you think about it?
People are showing up to stores looking for specific figures. You're lying to them, saying that there is no more, and you have them in the back. And I know that's happening because a friend of mine who does a lot of grabbing for me, because I don't have the time, because my life is a little bit busy, and he's good at this. just ran into this problem for a certain figure. He looked it up. He knew they had 2 or 3. Got there. I'm sorry, it was 4. By the time he got there, there was still 2. He had it on his phone. He knew it was updated. And they were trying to tell him they didn't have it anymore. And he said, no, get your scanning thing, which you can type and scan and pull up the product. And they didn't want to do it. He made them do it. Guess what? There was still 2 in the back.
Did he end up getting it?
Sorry, there was 1 in the back. But so, because they said there was 1. No, it doesn't update right away. So, in other words, there was probably 2 in the back, but they went to go get 1.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So, again, saying that there isn't something when there is, it's scalping. So you're right. It is, the group of scalpers has gotten bigger. I mean, you look no further than this story I just told you. And it's not a story. It happened. It really happened. They were trying to tell him they had no more. They were sold out, and they had 1 or 2 in the back. And they were doing everything they could not to let him get that 1 figure for me. And so, yeah, so the scalpers are everywhere. They work at Targets. They work at Walmarts. Some of them are just GameStop. Some of them are people in there that are retired already. Because I've seen some of these scalpers up close and personal, and they're driving Escalades, and they don't work at all, and it needs to stop. It really does need to stop.
And the thing is, I mean, I'm sorry, we're kind of getting a little like away from the PlayStation 5 and stuff, but it is related. The thing is, how is somebody like the average person like you or me supposed to work with this? Not only do you have to worry about bots and scalpers, but even the workers themselves are also scalping and hiding and stuff like that. So how is somebody like the average Joe Schmo supposed to get his hands on a limited edition whatever or a hot item like this PlayStation 5?
Yeah.
We don't stand a chance.
Can't. I look days, and we've talked about this, and 25 to 30 years ago, a lot of people didn't want to admit that they were collectors, especially of figures. They didn't admit it openly because they didn't want to be picked on or didn't want to be made fun of. I look back at those days and I say, you know what? That wasn't so bad after all, because the collecting community has grown a lot. A lot of it has to do with YouTube. Some people collect just so that way they can have a channel and they can make money. That's a story for a different day. Who cares? Everybody's entitled to do whatever they want. But the collecting community has grown. The gaming community has evolved big time because of technology. You have Xbox Live. You have all these things. So it's out there at a larger, broader spectrum, I guess, so to speak. So, and they know it. And they take advantage of it. Whereas to 25, 30 years ago, it was kids that bought toys. People didn't collect. It wasn't people weren't open about it. Now people are open about it on social media, on everything. So they know this. So they go in there and they raid the product and they sell it for 3-4 times the MSRP. And they do it with consoles. They do it with figures. You know for a fact they do it with figures. Target employees say they don't have them. They're out of stock, and they are in stock. And yet there's no repercussions for these actions. And I know I've said this like a few minutes ago, and I'm really going to end it off with this. Until there's repercussions for this behavior, until people start getting in trouble, losing their jobs, getting fined, it's illegal. This is not going to stop. And also, if people keep buying from these idiots, it's not going to stop. Patience. If you're just patient, everything will work itself out. These scalpers will go away to a certain extent, to a much lesser extent. You will never know if they'll ever go fully away, because they'll just start scalping other items more instead of consoles and figures. But right now, they're definitely targeting certain things a lot, because they know people are trying to just, especially right now with this pandemic, they're just trying to cling on to something. And the fact that they've ramped up during this pandemic is absolutely disgusting and speaks volumes of what kind of people these people are. They're trash.
Right. Well, that's. I mean, I think you summed it up pretty good, man. I mean, I got nothing else that I want to add to it. So I just want to thank everyone for watching the video and giving us giving us your time. And if you could, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you guys think, and share the video. So thank you guys very much for watching. Stay safe, and see you guys next time.
Peace.